right, well, I like to get to know my students before I teach. So let's get some names and ages. Your name, sir?
Ender.
Ender, really nice name. I actually live on Ender Street.
No way.
You have a street named after you, ain't that cool? Kind of? How old are you?
6.
6. Oh,
And a
big.
half.
6. Ooh, you're getting big, man. One day you're gonna be as old as me. How old do you think I am?
Uh,
You say 60? Man, that hurts.
no, I said 16.
Oh, 16. Oh, that sounds nice. I wish. I just turned 35. My birthday was last week.
I was just gonna ask that. Oh, yeah. I was just gonna guess that.
Yeah.
I think she's 20 something.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. You guys have time. Trust me. plenty of time. Well, nice to meet you, Ender. 6 and a half. Your name?
Mason.
Mason. That's an awesome name. What age?
9.
Age 9. All right. So you're the older statesman. Okay. All right. Make sure they stay in line, right?
I'm the oldest.
One of the oldest. Yeah. Make sure they all stay in line, right? They have to listen to you.
Not really.
Well, he's the oldest. You gotta listen to him.
He's older than you, so you get
Okay.
Sort of, maybe.
Sorry, baby. All right. Well, thank you, Mason, at 9. Your name, sir? Spider? Spidey?
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
What's your name and your age?
My name is Marcus and I'm 1 year after him.
Oh, so 8. Nice. All right. And so your name said, you said your name again?
His name is Marco.
Marcus.
Marco.
Marco, like Marco Polo?
No, Marcos!
Oh, Marcos.
Multiple Marco.
Oh, with an S,
Marcos.
Marcos. I like that. That's very like distinguished name.
Yeah.
I like that, Marcos. Marcos. I like that. That's really cool. Your name, sir?
Jacob.
Jacob. Ah, I love the name Jacob. And your age?
7. And
7. Oh, so you gotta listen to Marcos, right?
No, she's the
Oh,
oldest.
she's the oldest. I'm gonna get to her. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Batman. No.
My name is Aaron.
Aaron.
6 and a
Oh,
half.
Aaron. Okay. So many unique names here.
And I'm
Aaron.
6 and a half, and I'm a twin brother with him, and I'm actually the
Oh,
oldest.
now I see
Yeah,
it now.
he's 23. He's 23 minutes younger than me.
Oh, I thought you said he's 23. I'm like, man, you're the youngest 23-year-old I've ever met. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you and your twin brother. Your name? Roddy. Like the wrestler, like Roddy Piper?
No.
No. You said Roddy or Rodney?
Roddy.
Roddy, I like that. You know, there's a wrestler named Roddy Piper when I was growing up. He was awesome. Well, thank you. Nice to meet you. Your age?
10.
10. All right. Oh, you're older than these guys. Okay. So then last but not least,
My name is Laura,
Laura.
and I'm 11 and a half on July 30th.
July 30th. Oh, you're coming right there.
More than 11 and a half.
Oh, yeah. 1/2 and 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're almost there. So you're going to be 12. Excellent. So all you guys have to listen to her, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
No,
Give
really?
me some iced tea.
I can tell Marcus is the troublemaker, ain't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
the crazy-
Troublemakers make good salesmen, so keep that with you.
I'm a crazy real problem.
You're the crazy person?
I'm weird. I like pineapple pizza.
What?
Pineapple.
Pineapple pizza. Oh,
I
that is
like pineapple
kinda-
pizza.
that's so
I like
strange.
pineapple pizza. It's actually really funny. I know. Pineapple
Really?
and sardines.
Sardine. Oh.
What's sardine?
It's like these little fishes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, pineapple's not bad. I'm a
I love
pepperoni guy.
okay.
I like extra cheese. I like extra cheese.
I like pizza. I like pepperoni pizza.
Pizza? Okay.
I
All
like
right.
pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni pizza?
And
Okay.
I like veggie.
Veggie. Oh man, he is the weird one.
I've ate taco pizza before too.
Taco pizza is delicious. I'll give that to you.
I've
Taco
never
pizza.
tried the legendary food like taco, hamburger,
Love them. Love them.
pizza,
All day.
taco. Wait, did I? Oh,
Yeah.
hot dog.
What did you get?
Give me a hot dog. All
No.
combined. I've never tried that.
Never
All
tried-
combined.
All right, hey, you should make homemade pizza. It's delicious.
I
make it with my kids and
my
you
own
love it.
homemade pizza. Okay, that's
Yeah, homemade pizza is good.
maybe.
But hey, let's make sure we stay on track. So, it's good to know you. My name is Rich Fontaine, and I am an author of 4 books, and I'm about to have my 8th book come out this year. So 3 more books are coming out this year. And one of my newest books is this one, is The Nerd Who Saved the Universe. And it's about a young man that builds his self-esteem using the 3 rules of greatness, which are imagination, believing in yourself, having courage. And the last one is enjoying the process. Because life is a process, right? There's ups and downs. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, right? You guys do karate. Have you ever lost a match?
Yeah.
And have you ever won a match?
Yes.
See, it goes both ways. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But enjoying the process, regardless of what happens, is what makes people successful. And success is what I want to talk about today, is the 3 attitudes of success, which I want to start with a story. Has anyone ever heard The Monk and the Samurai? No? Good. Excellent, excellent. And I'm going to change the words for today just so we can process what we're going to talk about today. So one day there was a soldier in the Japanese army who wanted to know how to be successful. So he went to this ancient monk that lived at the top of this large hill that had all the knowledge in the world. So he came to this monk and said, "Monk, teach me about being successful and unsuccessful." And the monk said to him, "How can I teach you anything? Look at you, you're a brute, a thug. How can I teach anyone so stupid anything about being successful?" And obviously the soldier was enraged. He whipped out his sword and said, "How dare you speak to me that way? I'll smite you down now." Then the monk said, "Now that is failure." Realizing that the monk was teaching him, he wept down to his knees and said, Thank you for teaching a brute like me." And he said, "Now that is success." So our success and our failures come from our attitudes, how we handle situations. We can handle it one way, throw a temper tantrum, get upset, throw things, yell, scream, get depressed. Or we can handle it as, you know what, I'm learning. And each time I learn, I get better. So first time you did karate, were you great at it?
No.
No, right?
Sorta.
Sort of. Maybe Marcos was.
I like sorta, yeah, me too.
You too?
I like dressing. Me too.
All right. But were you great at it? Were you good, but were you great at it?
Sorta.
Sort of, all right.
Sorta.
Very self-confident.
No, I love it. But did you get better through time?
Yeah,
Maybe?
maybe.
You're just great, so you just stay great, right? Yeah, I hear you.
I say perfect.
Perfect. I like it. But you can always be better. Always be better. Even the greatest martial artists in the world can always become better. And so that just takes your attitude. You say, even if I lose, even if I'm not that great now, or even if I'm great, I can still get better by learning the process. Does that make sense? Is that good or good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent. So I just want to show you the 3 attitudes that will help you become successful. Does that sound good?
Yes.
And afterwards, I may show you how to earn some money. Do you guys like money?
Yes.
All right, yes. This is a business class, right? So I'll teach you how to make some quick money even at your ages right now. So the first attitude of success is, you don't have a pen, write this out. So I'll write it down here. Cooperation is corporation. So your parents work in a corporation. Even here, this dojo is a corporation. But without cooperation, it can't stand. Meaning you have to work as a team together and trust each other to work. How many people like ants? How many of you guys like ants? I love ants. Yeah, you like ants? I love ants. Ants are so impressive that they can carry things 3 times their weight. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? And did you know that they can only see 2D? So you see me in 3D, right? You see a length, a width, and called the Z length. But an ant can only see in 2D. That means they see flat, like a cartoon. So they can't look up. So they can't see anything above them. But they're able to survive for millions and millions of years. Why? Because they all cooperate together. Have you ever seen an ant farm?
Yes.
Yes? If you've never seen one, next time, what?
Like an ant farm, like a little case where you like keep ants.
Exactly.
I think so, yeah.
And you'll see each ant working together to make the whole work. So they're so small, so tiny, but they're able to survive because they work together. They work in an assembly line. So say you're all ants, and I give you a piece of sugar. You take care of that piece of sugar to him. He carries it to him. He carries it to him. He carries it to her. She carries it to him. And say he's the king, or this usually have a queen. So we'll just say king for this. We'll say king for you. For this example, we'll call you the king, right? And say the king collects all the sugars. So in working together, that's what your minions do. But since you're a good king, once they collect the sugar, you share the sugar with everyone else. So everyone works together to survive. And that's how a corporation works. That's how the team works. Yes?
I have a question. Why
Sure.
do you have like wet stuff in your armpits?
Because,
That's puberty.
yes, I sweat. You'll get there one day. It's
Oh.
hot in here.
Oh,
But I'll make sure I keep my arms down for you, okay?
okay.
All right.
Okay.
But that's rule number one, is you have to cooperate together to make anything work. So if one person doesn't trust, so if you, the king, don't trust him in the back, the system can't work. Because you don't trust him to bring the sugar. And then you'll get out of your throne and be a worker ant, which you're not. And so that throws everything off. So working together is how you make anything work. Does that make sense? Is that good or good? Excellent, excellent. So number two, attitude is, I like to say be like water. Anyone ever study water? Well, yeah? Okay. Have you ever watched water go down rocks?
Yes.
Yeah?
No.
Good, good.
That's a waterfall, basically.
Yeah, like waterfall. Very good, very good.
I've seen Niagara Falls.
Oh, Niagara Falls is awesome.
Can I tell you what I want to see? The Canada side and the U.S. side. I want to see Paradise Falls.
Paradise Falls is cool. I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What
awesome.
does it look like?
It's just like a flow through rocks.
No, but it's like the biggest pond. I mean,
Oh, maybe I haven't seen that one. Anyway, well, let's get to the point. Well, anyway, if you ever watch the water go down, it never stops, even if there's something in its way. It always finds a way to get to its destination. It uses gravity. So even if the water has to go through the dirt, it'll flow right into the dirt to get to its lowest point to get out anywhere. You can never trap water, right? You can trap it in a cup, but if there's any little hole, it'll find that hole and go through it. Success is the same way. You're always going to find obstacles, things that will stop you from reaching your goal. But if you're like water, you'll find any little hole to get to. For example, has anyone heard of the man J.D. Rockefeller?
no.
No, that's perfectly fine. He's actually one of the richest men that ever lived. Yes, one of the richest men that ever lived. And he made a deal with some people that own trains. He made oil. So he said, listen, I'll put my oils on your train if you take my train around the country. They said, okay. But he was becoming so rich and so big, they got jealous. And they said, okay, well, for you to continue putting your oils on our cars, we have to charge you extra. And most people will get mad and be upset. Like, hey, we had a deal, man. Why you reneging on our deal? Instead, he said, okay, that's perfectly fine. I'll be like water. So what he did, he created the first oil pipeline, which is underground still today, where he took oil from his factories, dug a big hole underneath the ground, and a pipeline throughout the whole entire country, completely removing the trains from his operation. And the people that own the train stations lost their business because they got greedy. And they threatened the man that they didn't realize was very smart and was like water. So you'll have those obstacles in your way as well. Somebody would say, you know, you can't do that. I won't let you do that. That won't happen. But if you are like water, you'll figure out a way to say, okay, that's fine. There's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to throw a tantrum. You say, all right, let me figure out a way. And everybody will be impressed because that helps you think of new things. Who has a really big imagination?
Me?
Yeah? Always keep that, because your imagination will help you think of new things on how to stop any obstacle in your way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that good or good?
My imagination just blew up. It
Never
never happened.
happened? You're 8 years old.
Still.
Really? Never had imagination.
When I grow
are you, Marcos? What do you want to be when you grow up? Yeah?
He's gonna work. Yeah.
Well, you seem like you're independent. You seem like you have a forward figure. So keep that. So if you think for yourself, that's a great person to be an entrepreneur or a salesman. Some of that works for themselves. That's why I work for myself, because kids used to say I was the talker in class. And so now I get paid to talk, so it works. What about you, Batman? I'll keep talking. Here's your shirt. Here's your shirt. What would you like to do when you grow up?
Be Batman?
I mean, that's awesome.
Yep, be Batman.
Yup.
I mean, be Adam.
You don't know? All right, you got time to think about
Be
it.
a police officer. It's like Batman.
Because Batman is good at
Batman does not exist. Okay.
You can play one on TV.
Yeah.
There you go. You can be an actor. Those are fun. Well, what about you?
Okay. The Olympic swimmer.
Oh, very nice.
Wait, what did she say?
An Olympic swimmer.
Oh, that's actually cool.
That's very cool.
What?
Gold medalist.
That is actually
Very cool.
You're gonna get trophies, medals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you get a bunch of money. Like Olympic
do.
swimmers get like Olympic people get more money than people who help us.
Yes, endorsed because they get endorsements. They have. I mean, Michael Phelps is a millionaire, but he trained to be that way. He had to work at it. So using your imagination. So this is what I like to do. I like to see myself winning.
I like to be a gladiator.
Gladiator's awesome. A wrestler.
Yeah.
What's a gladiator?
Like a wrestler.
You can be a track runner. You're really fast.
Well, I want to make sure I get to him. And you. What about you?
A famous dancer, singer, and actor.
Ooh, big dream. Big dreams. So again, what I like to do is see myself winning. So I close my eyes, I use my imagination, and I actually see myself doing the things I want to do. Every professional athlete does that, like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. And what they do is before they play the game, they see themselves actually winning the game. And they say that helps them actually win the game. Because they do it twice, one in their imagination and the other time in real life. So every time you see yourself winning, you've actually increased your chances of actually accomplishing the goal that you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that good or good? I'm gonna keep my arms down for you, all right? All right, is that good or good, everyone?
Sure. I don't change my mind at all. Yeah.
Try it, try it tonight. But just try it tonight and see how cool you feel actually winning the goal. Yeah, see yourself body slamming somebody, man. But I'm just joking, don't body slam me.
Yeah, I used to wrestle you all the time too.
Maybe be a good
When I was a senior white, oh my gosh, I used to chase you all the time. Remember?
Well, be careful, he's gonna be a famous dancer so he can move around you.
Yeah.
Well, all right, lastly, the third attitude towards success is what we talked about. You have to have cooperation. 2, you have to be like water. And 3, you have to see things differently. So say this with me. When I change the way I look at things, you can repeat. When I change the way I look at things,
Can I change the way I look at things?
the things I look at change.
The things I look at change.
So this is one of my favorite quotes of all time. Is many people during this pandemic were very afraid and very scared and made them retreat and stop chasing their goals and their dreams. Instead, I actually pushed forward in my goals and my dreams because I didn't look at it as a bad thing. I looked at it as an opportunity. So if you look at something negative as an opportunity, you'll do things differently than every other person. Does that make sense? Kinda? Okay, I'll give you an example. So, I was supposed to get a big check. Some money, right? Money's good. And I didn't get the check because of something that I forgot to do on the paperwork. So at first I was a little bit upset, but I learned to be like water and not, I'll get to you in a second. So I learned to be like water and not stress over it. But after the pandemic happened, since it did, the United States government actually reversed that transaction and say, hey, we have to give the people their money, and I actually got the check in the mail. See, some things that may be negative can actually turn into a positive. Does that make sense? What was your question?
I think I want to go to the I want to lock myself in the fire room at 12 hours a day because we do it once a day.
On YouTube? Why not?
Good.
Why not?
Is it gaming?
Yeah, my stepson's a gamer. What game do you like? putting in the time and the effort into the work. Like it took me time and effort to drive here and speak to you kids. But to me, this is what I call success. Is I don't make excuses, I make things happen. So say that with me. I don't make excuses,
I don't make excuses,
but I make things happen.
but I make things happen.
You said it with a question mark. Let's say it one more time. I don't make excuses,
I don't make excuses,
but I make things happen.
but I make things happen.
Things happen, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So what it means is you always have a chance to make anything you want happen, as long as you don't have excuses stopping. You're always your biggest enemy. You're the only person that could ever stop you. You ever see a superhero? They never let the enemy stop them. They're the only ones that can stop. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so I promise I will show you a little bit of tip trick on how to make some money. How many of you kids would like to make a little bit of coin?
I don't like coins that much. I just like cash.
Okay, cash.
That's cash.
Yeah, that was another way of saying cash.
I like cash.
All right, you like cash. Everyone likes cash. If you like cash, say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can buy it. But I think so cash.
Stefano's actually has pizza, but I don't like Stefano's actually the pizza that they make is actually kind of bad restaurants there.
Really? I never had those pizza. I like Anthony's. You ever had Anthony's pizza?
Have you ever tried one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't. I had to try that.
I like it, but now I don't.
Oh.
Just because it's just luck.
Yeah?
They like close forever.
Ah, man. Probably
Yeah.
because of this whole pandemic
It's so
thing.
good, but now they close forever.
Oh,
They don't
Cool.
do it anymore.
So I want to respect your teacher's time as well. So, and I know you guys have lunch soon. But I'm going to show you something really, really quick. Who has a bike?
Huh? I have a dirt bike. A bike?
Yeah,
Oh,
bike.
a bike.
A bike. Excellent, excellent.
I have a bike.
And a bike.
Yeah, oh, okay, everyone has a bike.
I have a
I
very
love
small
green
one,
lights.
so I can push off easily. I have training wheels. What?
I have a
Training wheels? Okay, you get there, you get there.
I have a dirt bike.
But did you know that your bike can actually make you money? Absolutely. Can anybody guess how? How can your bike make you money?
Oh, by selling them.
Close, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Anyone else?
Maybe racing with your bike.
Racing with your bike? Oh yeah, that's kind of betting. So I want to get you some guaranteed money. But that's betting if you win or lose. But
newspapers? Yeah.
what'd you say?
Selling newspapers?
Selling newspapers is actually a good one. That actually is a really good one. Yes. You know? You were gonna say that?
Yeah, I was gonna say before I went to the lip.
Hey, you know, great. Hey, they say great minds think alike. You three in the back? Any ideas? How your bike can make you money?
So you can ride around and deliver apples and fruits and food to stores.
That's actually a good idea too. Sorry, Harry. Yes.
So like, taking groceries to people who are like elderly, and like,
Really good idea.
what dog walking?
Yes.
And riding
Really.
bike.
Yes. Really good idea. Yours?
Giving food to like homeless people.
That's a really good. That's a very noble idea too. I love that one. I love that one. All are really good, but I'm gonna show you something a little bit different. Okay? Just as a businessman. So I actually got this from the book Huckleberry Finn. So this is what you do. You grab you have your bike. Say, is there a bike that you have that you've seen that everybody wants but nobody has? Like a really, really cool bike.
Oh,
Like we used to have a Mongoose or a GT when I was growing up.
like I want like you know those bikes that have those gears and lights.
Yeah.
Like I only have a gear, but like you can't see it. I mean you can see it, but it's like it's not like other bikes. Like you know those bikes that could change gears. I have one of those, but you have to like spin it to make gears.
Oh gosh, I think I know which ones you're talking about.
Change
bike?
gear
Yeah.
thing, like with the little click.
The little button there where you click, click, click.
And those
Yeah, that's what I have.
Like a Huffy, right? Maybe, I don't know bikes nowadays.
electric bike.
I'll bring my picture.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to. That's a
Okay, electric bike.
motorcycle. I mean,
Oh, not a
I
motorcycle.
mean,
motorcycle.
my mom and dad took me as Kingsville.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I just want to show you something. So say there's a bike that you really like, that is really cool, that a lot of kids even like, right? But nobody really had. So So imagine you went to your mom or your dad and say, hey, I want to trade my bike for this one. The first answer they're going to say to you is, Marcos, it's too expensive. We don't want to get it. Then you say, okay, how about you loan me the money? And I will pay you back within a year. It's going to say, okay, how are you going to do that? You say this. Say, for example, your teacher's going to have her do some math for me, but does anyone have a phone or a calculator?
I have a phone.
Can you grab it real quick?
He does, Roddy. Let Roddy.
I'm
Let
using
Roddy.
a calculator.
Let Roddy. Let Roddy.
Either one. I mean, you both can do it.
Okay.
I'm using a calculator.
Oh, no, you can hold on. I'm going to give you some numbers, and you let me know what the numbers are, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, just so we can save a little bit of time, it's coming back. So, say the bike you want costs $500.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's expensive, right? I'm trying to put it in here. So, say it costs $500. And of course, your parents would say, I'm not going to buy you a $500 bike. But you said, okay, if I pay you back within a year plus interest, will you do it? They said, okay, how? So, since everybody likes that bike, do you think that you can charge other kids to ride your bike for you? Or ride your bike?
Yeah.
Right? So you get to own it. It's still yours. You can ride it anytime you want. But then you charge kids. So you say, hey, for 20 minutes, you get to ride my bike for 20 minutes for $5.
No, $100.
Well, you gotta keep it cheap, man.
For 1 second.
For 1 second, oh, that's not a good
And
deal.
then it actually works.
You gotta get customers, man. Customers like good deals.
No,
You say,
100. You can ride it for
you don't
5
have
hours for
Ooh, that's a long time.
$50.
Well, let's say we want to keep it cheap at first, just to get some clients, right? So say we do it for $5. Just say for $5.
I'll make it for 100.
Do you have $100?
Yeah, I have more.
Oh, excuse me. Not every kid has 100, but you want them to keep coming back. That's the point, right? The more they come back, the more money they'll spend with you, right? So, say you did it for $5. Divide 500 by 5. 100, right? So you would need 100 rides, not 100 kids, but 100 rides. That's not much. Within a year to pay back that 500 rides. Now, after you pass that $500, you paid your parents back their money. You can still keep the business going. Now that's all profit. So that means you could be making $500 a year, and even when you get older, you just have little kids in the neighborhood that were your age, and you're still charging the same thing. Does that make sense? Right? So that's really business in a sense. The reason why I marked it low was the lower it can be, the more people will keep coming back. Right? So if a pizza costs, you have one pizza costs $5, but this pizza costs $30. More people are going to get the $5 pizza because it's less expensive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So if you have those reoccurring, only 100 rides is not that many. So imagine, all right, so do some math. You have 100 rides, and divide that by 12.
By how much?
By 12. 100 divided by 12.
Dang it.
It's a 1.33333333.
Okay.
8.3333.
8 point? 100 divided by 12?
No.
Yeah, but 8.33333.
Oh, 8.33. Okay, yes. So 8.3333. So, say for example, estimate it to 9. You would just need 9 rides per month to make that $500. Is 9 a big number?
No, not really.
So
It
these-
is compared to other numbers.
True. This kid, man. I like it. All right, so how many kids are in this room right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7. So say you had 2 more kids in this room that you charge $5 to ride your bike per month. Because it's cheap. You're like, oh yeah, $5 for 20 minutes, sure. And if you do a few every day, within the month, you actually would surpass. I think you probably get 20 rides for the month, which would double your money, which would actually make $1,000 that month by just owning the bike that you want.
Wow.
Very cool. And that's called economics. So in business, what you want to do is have a product that you sell low, that people want, and you do it in a way that gets you recurring. And most of the time, we don't have the money to start. That's what I say, if you went to your parents and said, hey, like people, we do bank loans. But your parents would say, hey, I'll pay you back that $500 plus interest. So I'll pay you probably $550 to loan me the money. And then you pay them back within a year. Now you're making nothing but profit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you can make money writing your own class. Round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, and you can break it down to the most simplest math. So whenever you have an idea of a service, just think, okay, how much can I charge? How much would it cost me up front? Actually, one, how much will it cost me up front? Two, how much can I charge to get it paid back? And three, how much would I make per month if I do this? And you can break it down even more. So just one more. If we do 8 point, say 9. Break that into how many weeks in a month? 4. Divide that by 4. 9 divided by 4. 9 divided by 4. You said
Wait, what's...
Oh, 9 divided by 4, that's actually
like 2 point, what did you say? 2
2.25.
point.
Wait, can you, wait, so it was,
2.25.
first it was,
It was a year, so we had 500 for the year, right?
yeah,
2.25.
Then we divide that 500 by 5.
divided by, equal 100.
To equal 100. So we're going to see how much per month. So we divide that by 12. That's when we had the 8.333. I estimated to 9 and I divided it by 4, which is 4 weeks in a month.
Divided by what again?
So there's 4 weeks in a month. So you divide 9 by 4.
So 0.135925993.
It should be like 2 point something, right? So let's say 3. So that means you have to do 3 rides per week to get to that number. Does that seem like a lot? You can get 3 rides today if you have that bike. Just go out to your local friends and say, hey, would you like to ride my bike for $5? They say, sure. And that's
40.
this guy's taxing, man.
40 million.
So just remember the story about the train guy. Don't always get too greedy. Just start off small, and then as you increase, you can start making more. Now, how do you make more? I'll show you real quickly before I go. How can you even triple this number?
If there's too many people.
Not just too many people. So imagine that you paid your parents back, right? And since you paid them back in the year, you made your promise, you can say, hey, Mom, can you buy me another bike? The same one. Now you have 2 bikes at the same time. So now you don't have to wait for the kids to ride. You can have one ride this one ride this one at the same time.
That would be too.
Then you just doubled your money. Bring it down to the smallest math. How much do you have to do per week or do per day? Then you can realize that these numbers are not that big, that anyone can do it, even 6 to 9 to 10 to 12-year-olds. So that's how business operates. That's how I run my business. And if you do this same thing, you can do it with lollipops. You can do it with lemonade stands. You can do it with really any service that kids want. Somebody do it with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know what you guys. Or you can play my video game for $20 for 20 minutes.
Oh.
Anything.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards are a little too old for
Are
that.
they? Okay, sorry.
I
I'm showing my age now.
can't do that now because of the coronavirus.
Well, yeah, the video game's probably not working now.
It's just, or
I
the
don't- also, I
bicycle.
wouldn't do that.
Well, you can make sure you sanitize the bike. Put your mask on.
Yeah,
I want to save my money for when
I wouldn't do the
I like that too.
video
because
games
I don't like
thing,
spending my money.
because I don't want anyone spending my precious dollars on my Xbox.
True. Oh, sorry. So, well, thank you, kids. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you got some really good value out of it. Again, I have my books available, so tell your parents about it. And it was a pleasure speaking with all of you. All right? Thank you so much, and round of applause. Thank you. You guys are great. Appreciate it. And I hope you don't mind that you left this time on the road.
It's okay, no problem.
So sorry, I do a live on Facebook. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Bye.
Let's say bye to the kids.
Bye. Bye.
Awesome.
That was you, right?
Where?
All right, guys.
Oh, this one?
We have,
Yeah, that's me.
Bye.
Ed Morowski.